James is a Manchester United fan. He joins us live now. Hello, James.
Hi, guys. Thanks
Hi,
for having
James.
me on.
What do you want to say about this situation with England unable to call on the services of Ben White?
I completely agree with Harry Redknapp. I think it's disgraceful. I think I'd go even further to say, you talk about his responsibility to his club. Doesn't he have a responsibility to his country as well? He's in the form of his life. He's one of our best players in that position. I think he owes a responsibility to play for his country and do his best for his country as well.
Why does he have to play for his country? Why should he be forced to do so if he doesn't want to do it?
Well, I don't think he should be forced to. Maybe that's the wrong term, but I think he owes a responsibility to. I think there's millions of kids would give anything to play for their country, even once. I think he does have a responsibility. I would go that far, and I think he should be. I think it's disgusting that he's turned his back on us, and I think Harry Redknapp's right that the door should be shut in his mush, as he wonderfully puts it.
OK, James, thank you very much. Appreciate you calling. 03717 223344. Matt, a Palace fan, is next. Hello.
Hi, mate.
You've got an alternative view on this, haven't you?
I have. Great show, as always. Basically, I'm a little bit disappointed in Southgate. I think he's thrown him under the bus here.
In what sense?
Well, he knows the stick that Ben White's now going to get on social media every time the lad walks on the pitch.
So what should he have done then? Should he just said, I didn't pick him, even though he has tried to pick him? He should have taken the responsibility himself. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think he has a duty of care to his players. And I also feel like, for me, this is personally more a question of, has Ben White turned down England or has he turned down Southgate? I feel like he's turned down Southgate, and that's why Southgate has reacted in the way that he has.
That's ridiculous, though, isn't it?
That?
Because even at club level, Martin would have been there when he doesn't necessarily see eye to eye with the manager. But you're not playing for the manager, and even less so in this case. You're playing for your country. So surely you have to put those personal differences to one side.
But we don't. I agree, but that, in the sense of that, if you can see beyond that, but it smacks to me Southgate's reaction in the sense of calling this lad out publicly.
So you would rather the England manager stood up in front of everyone and lied about it than told you the truth?
No, he doesn't have to lie. He doesn't have to lie, does he? Southgate's very diplomatic normally. And
it was pretty diplomatic yesterday. He said he thinks Ben White is a terrific player. He was desperate to get him in the squad. He wants to get him in the squad in the future. There's no problem between him and Ben. Ben needs some time to think about it, and the door will always be open for him. Couldn't get much more diplomatic than that.
But he knows damn well that will mean that Ben White will get loads of stick online and loads of stick when he walks on the pitch.
But isn't that Ben White's fault for turning it down and not explaining why he hasn't joined up with England?
I would personally say that Ben White, if he knew he was going to turn this down, that he could have made a statement or come out and said why, he's now kind of forced to, in a way.
I think we need to be, guys, I think we need to be very careful in this area, because there are some people who, they go away from their families, from that support network, and it's tough for them. They don't want to be there. Now, I know that's hard for people to understand, but it's not the easiest at times.
Absolutely.
You're not playing, you get that oxygen
Certain
from playing.
People aren't great tourists.
And you think, this isn't for me. Look, I can't say, will I definitely play, because I can never put that on a manager. But if I'm just going to be in and around it, it looks like that for me when I'm with international football. I can't do it. Now, so in a way, I admire that. I'd like to hear that, if that's how it is. But I don't think we will.
Do you think it might be a slightly different reaction to this whole debate if he had have come out and explained why he didn't want to do it?
Perhaps that would be the case. And when he went home from Qatar, I had a feeling it might have been, because he did embark on the trip. Mm-hmm. Maybe found that, look, this is a bit tough, and he went home for that reason, and doesn't want to put himself in that situation again. If that is the case, then we need to hear it, because he doesn't deserve
the only thing
criticism.
Is he didn't go straight home from the World Cup, did he? He went to Dubai to join up with Arsenal.
Well, yeah, but he was still with people that he works with every day, and his mates and everything else. Maybe he doesn't feel that way when he plays for his country.
Maybe. 03717 223344. Matt, thank you very much for that call. Very good. Good to have all different voices and opinions. Joe is an Arsenal fan. Hello, Joe.
Good morning, you all right?
Yeah, we're good, mate. Go on. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I actually want to argue the point that I think England are the ones missing out here. Not from a right-back point of view, because I do think there's 3 right-backs better than him. But I'd say he's our second best centre-half. He's a multi-dimensional player. We need to move on from Harry Maguire. And I think once we replace him as manager, Southgate that is, I think we'll be looking better and we can get Ben White back in and become a progressive, high-line centre defensive team.
I wonder how that would sit with England fans, though, because if he doesn't play for Gareth Southgate and Gareth leaves after the European Championships and then all of a sudden Ben White makes himself available for selection again, that will be proof that there is an issue with the manager as opposed to actually just playing for England. How would that sit, Martin, with non-Arsenal fans?
Well, let's cross that bridge if it ever comes around. You know, we're all these theories about how people is. I mean, it would be nice if he did decide to come back when there's a change of manager. Then obviously he explains himself.
Should he be allowed just to be welcomed back?
Well, if he had a mental health issue, then yes, why not?
Well, we're grabbing that, aren't we? We've got no
we don't
substance
know. We
to
don't
that,
know that, but there's a lot we don't know. So we can add whatever theory we want to. I think it would be very hard to fall out with Gareth Southgate, from what I know of the man.
What about Steve Holland? Is number 2?
Well, maybe that's where the falling out is, and then it gives a difficult situation
Gareth
for Gareth.
suggested that wasn't the case.
He said it wasn't the case, and he said that he's looking forward to him coming back into the squad. So it's up to the player. So are we saying now that it's with him, over to him? Does he make it to the summer? You know, it kind
He's
of.
not going to go to the European Championships now. That ain't happening.
Would you be as sympathetic if we weren't talking about an Arsenal player? Do you think your club allegiances are clouding your judgment?
No,
in any
not
way
really,
here?
because my player welfare is something that's top of the. You know, it's on our list today, by the way.
You never mentioned that.
I always mention it. So I'm looking out. I don't care what club they're from. You know, it's we have to look after the individual. Everyone reacts in a different way. It's not for every player. You know,
should we make sure that we don't react in the same way that many people did react when Paul Scholes pulled out of the England squad and said that he didn't want to be
He got a lot of
part of it. He did. And
so
probably
did Jamie
too much.
Carragher,
And
not least from our own Adrian Durham, famously.
So should we be careful?
I think we have changed. I think the way that this situation is viewed is different now to how it was in years gone by.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.